Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects millions of people worldwide. Blood sugar. But instead of just talking about the numbers, we're going to explore the master regulator behind it, or an incredible organ you might not think about very often, the pancreas. Understanding how this powerhouse works is the key to unlocking stable energy levels, better health, and even preventing serious conditions like type 2 diabetes. So, grab a glass of water, get comfortable, and let's get started on this journey to better understand our bodies. First things first, what exactly is the pancreas and what does it do? Picture a small, leaf-shaped organ tucked away behind your stomach. It might be modest in size, but its role is massive. The pancreas is a dual-threat player in our bodies, acting as both an exocrine and an endocrine gland. As an exocrine gland, it produces powerful enzymes that help us digest our food, breaking down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates in the small intestine. This is crucial for nutrient absorption. But for our discussion today, we're focusing on its endocrine function, which is all about hormones. This is where the magic of blood sugar regulation happens. Inside the pancreas, there are special clusters of cells called the islets of Langerhans. Think of these as tiny hormone-producing factories. Within these islets, there are two superstar cell types, beta cells and alpha cells. When you eat a meal, especially one rich in carbohydrates, your body breaks it down into glucose, which then enters your bloodstream. So, what does insulin do? You can think of insulin as a key. It travels through your bloodstream and unlocks the doors to your body's cells in your muscles, fat and liver, allowing glucose to move from the blood into the cells. Once inside, the glucose can be used immediately for energy. It's the fuel that powers everything you do, from blinking to running a marathon. If you have more glucose than you need for immediate energy, insulin helps your body store the excess in your liver and muscles as glycogen, kind of like a backup battery pack. This entire process brings your blood sugar levels back down to a stable, healthy range. But what happens when your blood sugar gets too low? Maybe you haven't eaten in a while, or you just finished an intense workout. This is where the alpha cells in your pancreas come into play. They detect the drop in blood glucose and release a different hormone called glucagon. Glucagon does the opposite of insulin. It travels to the liver and signals it to break down that stored glycogen and release glucose back into the bloodstream. This raises your blood sugar levels, ensuring your brain and body have a constant supply of the energy they need to function correctly. It's this beautiful, delicate dance between insulin and glucagon that keeps our blood sugar in a tight, healthy range throughout the day. This finely tuned system is essential for our overall health. When blood sugar is stable, our energy levels are consistent, our mood is better, and our brain functions optimally. We avoid those dreaded energy crashes and sugar cravings. But when this system is disrupted, problems can arise. And that brings us to the topic of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a condition where this elegant system of blood sugar control breaks down. It typically happens in one of two ways, or a combination of both. The first is called insulin resistance. Consistently high blood sugar is damaging to the body. It can harm blood vessels and nerves over time, increasing the risk of heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, vision problems, and nerve damage. That's why preventing or managing type 2 diabetes is so critically important. The good news is that for many people, it is largely preventable. By supporting our pancreatic function and improving our body's sensitivity to insulin, we can keep that blood sugar regulation system running smoothly. So, how do we do that? The most powerful tools are lifestyle choices. Let's start with diet. A diet that supports pancreatic health is one that doesn't constantly demand a massive insulin surge. This means focusing on whole, unprocessed foods. Think fiber-rich vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates like whole grains, beans, and legumes. Fiber is a secret weapon here because it slows down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, preventing those sharp spikes and giving your pancreas a much easier job. Reducing your intake of sugary drinks, refined carbohydrates like white bread and pastries, and highly processed foods is one of the most effective steps you can take. Next up is physical activity. Exercise is fantastic for blood sugar control. When you're active, your muscles use up more glucose for energy, which naturally helps lower blood sugar levels. But it also does something else amazing. It makes your cells more sensitive to insulin. Regular exercise can actually help reverse insulin resistance. It's like it polishes those rusty locks on your cells, so the insulin key works much more effectively. A combination of aerobic exercise, like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming, and strength training is ideal. You don't have to become a pro athlete. Even 30 minutes of moderate activity most days of the week can make a huge difference. Managing your weight is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Excess body fat, particularly around the abdomen, is strongly linked to insulin resistance. Losing even a small amount of weight, just 5 to 7% of your body weight, can significantly improve insulin sensitivity and slash your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. This doesn't mean you need to go on an extreme crash diet. A balanced diet and regular exercise are the most sustainable ways to achieve and maintain a healthy weight. Don't forget about stress and sleep. Chronic stress can raise cortisol levels, a hormone that can make your cells more resistant to insulin and increase blood sugar.